In this video, I'd like to talk about how to maintain a regular, ongoing home meditation practice. So this is particularly useful, I think, during this pandemic when a lot of the meditation classes, the places that you can go and sit with others, are just not accessible. And maybe you have some kind of a Zoom class that you can do. You know, I teach a class every Thursday at 4 o'clock online through Asheville Community Yoga, where you can register and participate in a meditation class. But that's once a week. So it's really important to do a regular daily practice, if it's even just a short practice. Meditation is like a lot of other things in one respect, and that is that consistency is more important than intensity. I personally believe it's better to meditate for 5 minutes every day than to meditate for 30, 40 minutes once a week or an hour once a week. I really believe that strongly. That's been my experience. And it's been the experience of many people that I've talked with over the decades that I've been meditating. And over the last, 12, 14 years or so since I've been teaching meditation. So make a commitment to do it every day. So here's some tips on how you can do this. So the first thing is you might want to set a time every day when you do this. And I recommend early in the morning if you can. That's what I do. I get up and I have my cup of coffee and I do my sitting practice. And it's done. It's out of the way. I do it before the rest of the world wakes up, including Margaret a lot of times. There's no interruptions. My mind hasn't started speeding yet about, oh man, I got all these things I got to do. I'm not going to get interrupted by a phone call or a text because guess what? Nobody else is awake unless they live in London and they're going to call me, right? Because I get up pretty early. So in the morning is really, really good. But you know, if that doesn't work for you, pick another time. I had a friend years ago who used to do an hour of meditation when she got home from work. It's, about 5:30 or so. She had a husband and 2 kids, and they knew that was her time. 5:30 or whatever it was, she'd go into her room, she would do her meditation. She did not want to be interrupted, and they respected that. And when she came out, okay, now we're going to have dinner. All right. So that's what worked for her. So pick what works for you. But a lot of people find if they can just bang it out in the morning, that is really great. And it kind of sets the tone for the day, right? So the second thing is you can attach it to another activity. So for example, I mentioned that I have my coffee and then I meditate. Many, many times in the past, I would do yoga practice and then meditate. And of course, that was great because very few things prepare your body and your mind better than doing a nice yoga practice, whether it's more vigorous or whether it's really slow and simple and gentle. So, it could be whatever you want to do. So another thing you can do is you could tie it to another person. Now there are online apps like Insight Timer where you go on and you meditate, and then when you're done, it tells you that you just meditated with 17,000 other people. Well, that's okay. But maybe you have a meditation buddy, somebody that you give them a call or you text them and say, okay, I'm going to do it. Are you going to do it? It's like holding each other accountable and getting that support from each other. So you could say that's attaching it to another person as well as another activity. So making that link can be very helpful. The next tip I want to give you is have a special place to do it. In many ways, this might be one of the most important. Create a space in your home that's dedicated to doing contemplative practice or mind-body work. In my house, we have a massive bedroom, and we've devoted one end of the bedroom for meditation, yoga, and contemplative reading. We've got a sitting area with a chair and a little table where we can sit and read. And then I have an altar set up. And on the altar, I have objects that are meaningful to me. A couple pictures of teachers that I've studied with. There's a picture of a holy place in Bhutan that I visited. I actually have a picture of Mother Teresa because I met her in '92 and we talked and I was able to photograph her. That's on there. And I have some little statues and some, I have my mala beads, which are practice beads. So when I look at the altar, it reminds me of teachers and practices. And I've also got an incense box on there and a candle. I like those. So it sets the mood. And I know when I'm at that altar in that meditation place, that's what I'm doing. I don't go there to eat. I don't go there certainly to watch TV. First of all, there's no TV in the bedroom, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. And then if you have meditation cushions or chairs or objects like that, those are all set up so you can go in, maybe light your incense and sit down. Okay, now it's time to meditate. So that's, I think, really, really important. Creating that special atmosphere. Maybe put some flowers there. Yeah, whatever works for you. It could be very, very simple. I've seen altars, all they were was a candle and a vase of flowers. It's perfect. Okay. Another thing is eliminate distractions. Leave your phone in the other room or turn it off. If you live with other people, like my friend Jan did, she let the family know, I'm going to meditate. So we can't totally control our environment. If we live in the city, there may be some noises outside, like a dog or traffic and so on. But do the best you can to do that. Sort of like the no matter what, I'm going to sit down and I'm not going to allow outside factors to influence me as best as I can. Okay? And it really comes down to another tip, which is sustain a no matter what attitude. All right? It's easy to make excuses. It's easy to come up with reasons and justifications not to meditate. And you know, the thing is, most of the time we talk ourselves out of it is when we need it most, right? You know, I might think, oh, you know, I can't focus right now, or I'm upset, or I'm confused, or I don't feel good. You know, within reason, just say, you know what, I'm going to do my practice anyway. The intention of meditation is really to train our mind. And it's no different than going to the gym. You know, if you decide you want to get stronger and you come up with excuses not to go to the gym, nothing's going to happen. It's the same way with meditation. You know, if you skip a day once in a while, don't beat yourself up, but kind of, you know, say, look, I'm really going to stick with this and integrate it into my lifestyle. It's not just another thing to do. It's part of what I do. It's part of who I am. This is really, really an essential part of my day-to-day practice. Is a good mentality to have. Another one is, and I talked about this before, was a meditation partner. Maybe you don't call someone to meditate with, but if you maybe you have somebody in the house that you live in that you can sit with, and certainly, if even if you're not sitting with them, have somebody you can talk to. Obviously, it's great to have a teacher if you can, somebody you can reach out to get tips on. But have as best as you can, somebody you can talk to share your experience and listen to them and just get support. It can really make a difference and help you stay on track. And the last one, in this one is probably the most important, is be realistic. You know, if you sit down with this goal like, well, I'm going to be enlightened by Christmas, well, maybe it'll happen. Maybe you'll see God next week. But the way meditation works is that sometimes it's like, okay, today I'm able to concentrate, tomorrow I can't. Today I sit down and I feel really peaceful. And maybe the next day I'm pretty crazy. I've been meditating for almost 40 years. And if you excuse the expression, sometimes when I sit down, I'm batshit crazy. You know, I can't focus, I'm ruminating, uh, and I just go, okay, that's what's going on. And my takeaway is, you know what? My focus isn't good. I'm kind of scattered. Emotionally, I'm not doing very well. So maybe I need some self care, or maybe today's not a day to make big decisions. Yeah. So be realistic and see what you can do, and just kind of hang in there. And what will happen is if you stay with it, you'll notice differences in your life. You'll be driving down the street, somebody will cut you off, and instead of going nuts, you're just going to go, oh, whatever, and keep going. And then you'll stop and pause and think, wow, look at me. Look what happened. That's the payoff. That's the prize that you get when you do this practice. Less reactive, more clear, more self compassion.